INFINIUM is an ongoing, creator-owned sci-fi fantasy graphic novel, told in a cinematic landscape format. This is more than just a comic. In fact, I'm unsure if it can even be considered one. This is a sprawling mythos, a seamless combination of fantasy, science fiction, and complex social and psychological realities. It's a universe crafted to feel ancient, dangerous, and vast. Long before our cast ever drew first breath, there were two cosmic forces, the primordials, beings born of concept and chaos, and the hierarchy, celestial architects sent to impose law on all of existence and not. When the INFINIUM was revealed, the first Omni relic, it came bearing prophecy and rules, immutable truths meant to govern all that was, is, and ever could be. The primordials read it and refused. What followed was a war not for land or power, but for the very right to exist without constraint. The sky shattered, realms fell, and what remained was no longer whole. The aftermath left behind ascendant fissures, rips in reality itself. From them pour celestial anomalies and eldritch horrors beyond mortal comprehension. INFINIUM takes place trillions of years after this divine rebellion, in a reality still recovering and breaking all over again. Our story follows 7 central figures: Donin Calech, the exiled prince of Socoria, branded a traitor, trained as a weapon, seeking to reclaim his birthright and uncover what was stolen from his bloodline. Jayce Vahnnigahn, last descendant of the ancient human Vahnnigahn, a son with no interest in war, driven only by the desperate need to free his mother from the grasp of the gods. These two are candidates to become pillars, beings written into the very framework of reality, destined to bear the weight of entire realms. But they are not alone. Each is tied to a fate weaver, a celestial or higher being linked to their destiny. Calech, Donin's first wife and a Draknil warrior, bred for war and honor, carrying a secret that could rewrite the prophecy itself. Esnil, Lord of Agony, a once great celestial of the Equipoise, now imprisoned in the body of a lesser creature since the end of the Great Celestial Wars. He seeks only to free his brother Garza from the Onius and fulfill the prophecy the way it was originally spoken. Calech, Donin's second wife, and a Cadiz celestial assigned to guide him, bound by sacred duty, but not without desires of her own. Tobu Yashida, an operative of the CARA and an NCC, one of the last mortal organizations resisting celestial influence. He despises all things divine, and helps lead the charge against the fissures. Nicole de Leon, a recruit of the CARA, plagued with waking visions of forgotten realms and beings of old. She sees things she shouldn't, things no one believes. Yet, these individuals, and many more, are all part of the INFINIUM prophecy, not by coincidence, by design. Each one marked to play a role in the next great unraveling. Some will rise, some will break, and some will fall. But what those roles are, some truths aren't told, they're endured. And that is something no mortal can do. But luckily for you, there is a way. I set out to create something I had never seen before, and the key word in that sentence is I. Yes, INFINIUM is technically a graphic novel, but to say that alone feels like heresy, because at its core, this isn't just a book, it's cinema caged in ink. I'm a film lover first, a student of motion, light, composition, the sacred geometry of storytelling, the way a scene breathes through its dialogue, the way color whispers emotion, the way a shot framed just right can say more than an entire paragraph. These are things comics flirt with, but rarely marry. And so I asked, what if I didn't make a comic at all? What if I built a film that reads? A story you don't just follow, but fall into. That's where INFINIUM truly begins. The book itself is in landscape format, a deliberate rejection of tradition. This isn't vertical page turning, this is horizontal immersion, wide like a screen. Every page is treated as a shot, every panel a scene. There are subtitles, letterbox pages, framed composition that mimics real camera movement. I even developed a technique for subtle character movement that unfolds across pages, mimicking motion in a medium that shouldn't move. Each panel is a painting, a moment, a beat in the rhythm of a larger celestial song. And it's all handcrafted, My wife and I poured our entire souls into this. No outsourced shortcuts, no ghosted art. Every line, every shade, every burst of cosmic fire drawn by our own hands. It takes longer, it's thicker, it's heavier, but that's the point. INFINIUM isn't built to be consumed. It's built to be experienced. Not a comic, not a movie, something in between. Something new. INFINIUM began 10 years ago. Two young artists, my best friend and I, sitting in the corner of a dusty school library, high off the fumes of our 100th comic, inspired, obsessed, convinced that we could do it too. And so we tried, banging the primal rocks of creation together, attempting to spark a flame that would roar so valiantly the entire world would take notice. But like most sparks, his burned out. We lost touch for reasons too personal to unravel here, but even so, I stayed, alone, carrying a story that refused to leave me. Within me, INFINIUM was already that raging inferno. So why did it take 10 years? That answer is not easy. The truth is, I didn't have the support. Not from friends, not even from family. I carried INFINIUM through countless rewrites, false starts, abandoned drafts that felt more like diluted echoes than the vision that haunted me. I begged the world to notice, posted, shared, reached out. I shouted into the void, look at this, just give it a chance. But the void rarely shouts back. So I fell, and I failed, again, and again, and again. And somewhere in that repetition, I learned something vital. That anything of true weight, of cosmic substance, takes time. Time to write not just characters but souls. Time to sculpt entire alien races, their anatomy, their beliefs, their culture. Sometimes spending a week designing a single one, then doing it all over again and again. Time to create governments, empires, rebel syndicates, not just stories but civilizations. INFINIUM isn't just multiversal fiction, it's a living system, a breathing machine. One that required every drop of imagination I could summon. 5 years ago, I went all in, dropped out of school, sat across from my mother and said, this is it. This is all I want to do. And she did not take it well. You dropped everything for a comic? Are you fucking stupid? And honestly, maybe. But what's more insane? Chasing something that lights your soul on fire, or choosing to die in pieces doing something you hate every day. I chose fire. And even while juggling thousands of commission requests just to survive, often stealing hours from INFINIUM itself, I kept going, kept building, kept bleeding into the page. So yeah, 10 years. 10 years to become the architect of something I no longer just dream about. I live in it now. And at last, it's ready. INFINIUM is here. For you. For the bold. For the ones who hear the call. Welcome to the beginning of something vast. Something eternal. So, where can you read INFINIUM? INFINIUM is not a completed thing. It is becoming. Unfolding across time like a divine prophecy still being written. What you see now is only the beginning. The story will stretch across years, maybe lifetimes. It is my life's work after all. My magnum opus, drawn not from comfort, but from struggle, obsession, and sacrifice. It needed a home worthy of what it is. And that home is the God Box. Not just a website, a realm, a sacred vault for the bold, where the saga of INFINIUM breathes in its truest form, horizontal, cinematic, and unbound. But this isn't just about reading a story, it's about belonging to one. You're stepping into the myth. The God Box is a living archive where the chosen become part of the divine fabric, not observers, but members of the Celestials Guild, a growing pantheon of souls bold enough to ascend. You'll gain a personalized celestial design, an avatar shaped in your honor, to be featured in future INFINIUM content and videos. You'll be seen, remembered, woven in. But know this, the fire we've kept alive this long, it cannot burn forever alone. And you might be the reason it becomes immortal. Join the Celestials Guild. Let the myth carry your name. Become celestial.